Okay, so let me start. Hi everyone, I'm Shalu from Living Consciously Foundation. And so today we are doing this session to keep you all who are watching this recorded video to inform about the three-part workshop on imagination to create that we are coming up with Lasagna on 27th, 3rd and 10th September from 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. IST. Okay, so to begin with this session, I have with me Lasagna, and she hails from the vibrant city of Johannesburg. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, Lasagna. Okay, okay. So she has been on this incredible journey of exploring how the imagination works for the past few years, and she's passionate about sharing everything that she has learned and experienced through her creative workshops. She has also conducted uh, one workshop with us, Living Consciously, in past, and it's truly inspiring how her imagination has helped her break free from the traditional mindset of seeking security in a corporate paycheck. Instead of, it has opened up a world of exciting possibilities in her life. So very, very warm welcome uh, to you. When we talk about, so begin our conversation, if we talk about, imagination, so many of the world's greatest minds that, I've read, including Albert Einstein, Carl Jung, and Jean Austen, and so many others, they have talked about imagination and how it has helped, it has played a very important role in terms of creating theories and so many other possibilities. So my first question to you is, I'll start by combining two questions. First is, what prompted you and encouraged you to work on a modality like this, and what do you think? What role does imagination play in our day-to-day life, and what can we achieve through that?
Okay, well, hi everyone. I'm Lasanya, and thanks to Living Consciously and Shalom for inviting me to spend this time with you and to play with your imaginations. So, to answer those questions, imagination started for me when I moved out of the corporate life. So, I had been an attorney or a lawyer for 10 years and doing contract vetting for almost 5 years or so, I discovered just changed my personality into making me completely risk averse. So I became very logical. So when I then decided to go out into business, I realized that I didn't see my logical side was not going to help me all by itself. I was going to need something more. So, very simply, it would have been the financial stress that happened because now I'm suddenly coordinating business and it's all on me that I needed to find a way to calm myself. So, imagination started for me with creativity. I started to paint. Now, for a lawyer to start painting, they're very different activities. It meant that a blank canvas can be a really scary thing. And I realized, once I started doing that, you really have to go with whatever comes to your mind once you start applying it to the canvas. And it wasn't just me. I started doing painting workshops for other business owners, and I realized this great fear. And so that's where I started to see that the moment I started using my creativity and started to paint, even my business mindset started to change in that I became more open to ideas that I wouldn't have been open to if I was just sticking to the theory. If I just did marketing the way it was supposed to be done, if I just did networking the way, follow the rule book, is that doesn't really work if you haven't seen the opportunity to begin with. You can only start applying the theory after you've seen the opportunity. You've got to hit play. so, so that's how imagination drew me in. And then what was the next one? The combination was how am I using it?
Yes.
How am I using it now is for me basically it's very different to the usual techniques of a visualization and things like that. There's room for that, but what I found works really well for me is in the contemplation and intuitive activities. So I love to just write questions down or draw things on the spot or just open a book to an art page after had a question and just take the first thing that grabs me. Because intuition and imagination go together. I found that when running business, intuition played a really big role. But in order for me to develop intuition, I couldn't develop intuition without developing imagination. So I love intuitive activities. The moment I write my question down, that's like clarity found. And then information just finds me like solutions, answers, everything kind of just comes. But that's my method. And I believe everybody has their own method that comes up. So, in what do I want to achieve with this kind of thing is really, we're born with this birthright of imagination. Everybody has it, it's free. But what happens is we start living life and we start getting conditioned and then we start creating all of these barriers. So when I think about what do I want to achieve with teaching people about how to use the imagination and what have I achieved, it's really about an opening of the mind. Is that all of these ideas are out there. Every thought that ever existed is still out there. It's about opening ourselves to it to say, okay, now I can see it. So for achievement in imagination, it's really just about breaking down the barriers and opening ourselves up to possibility. Have I answered everything there, Shalom?
Yes, you have answered beautifully. And yeah, that's very powerful. So I have also been, using imagination. And as you very rightly said, that, that's how we have been conditioned to be in our, head all the time. And that is how, we, as a, I don't know, like as a humanity, since from last so many years, we are working like this. And somewhere because of that, we are disconnected from our intuitive capabilities, from our heart center, from other, faculties, which we all,
Yes.
are born with as human beings. So wow, this is very powerful. And I was reading somewhere where there was this video by some spiritualist who was saying that, everything which is possible today was once a mere imagination. So everything that's being imagined today will be possible tomorrow. So imagination is such a powerful, tool that we
We
have
can't
not. Yeah.
we can't do anything without seeing it in the mind first. Even when you're waking up in the morning to brush your teeth, you see it in your mind before you do it. You can't bypass it. It's just a matter of whether we're conscious or not conscious of it.
Wow. And we can use it to create, as we are the creators of our own life, I would like to believe, and we can use it to create the kind of life, that we would like to live. That,
It's just about clarity.
yeah,
That's what it comes down to.
yeah.
Um, the moment we're clear about it, it we're then able to move into making it happen in some way. Yeah. So imagination, you have to see it first there. It
Yeah.
has to flash across your subconscious via an image. That's why they say concepts are best taught in parables. Because when you're listening to a story, you can't listen to a story without all the pictures formulating on your imagination. And the moment that picture goes across, it transmits the actual principle in the story. So even for the fairy tales and all of that for kids, is that we learn so much better and so much more effectively through storytelling because we see the imagery so much more easily.
That's very interesting.
It's quite a journey. That's why I say, I thought in the beginning that there's a specific way in which you do this, but every person has got to find their own way through it. It's really just about opening the way. That's it. And then being completely like free and liberate yourself to just see what if things could work out in a way that I never even thought of. We depend a lot on the past to tell us this is how the trend goes and so this is what should happen, predictability. But when we focus so much on predictability and trend analysis, we completely close off the way to something happening in a completely new way that just hasn't shown itself in front of us yet.
Interesting.
So yes, it is extremely powerful.
Yeah.
On that one, I have to say there was a story that I heard as well while listening to a video where the concept that was being put on imagination was there was a time, 1800s or something, somewhere there, way back when, that people became very panicky about there being too few horses. Horses were not being born fast enough to provide for the transport needs of the people. So of course the environment became completely nervous and anxious as to how were they going to breed more horses in order to satisfy the requirement of the environment, or the people needing the transport. But you'll get your one component of people that are being also anxious about the lack that is now taking place. Whereas there was another lot that came about where they realized maybe we don't need the horses anymore because that's when the automobile came to be. So somebody had to be open to the other option. If you completely focused only, we don't have enough horses, we don't have enough horses, then you don't have enough horses. But if you're like, we don't have enough horses, but what else could we use for transport? What else is available? Just that one question opens us to possibility.
And now this will take me to my next question, which is
Mhm.
around our three-part workshop. So if you can walk us through, like, what is that participants that are going to experience through this journey, through this three-part workshop. And yeah, so take us through that. Uh,
Well, I have, when I originally started doing this workshop, like I said, I also had a bit of a clinical approach. There was a logical approach, step one, step two, step three. There's the visualizations, there's the affirmations, you know. And now, as I've like practiced so much more with my own life, is I've realized that, as I said, everybody has to be open to their own creativity. So I have broken this workshop up into three parts, which I do think is necessary to start the process for the journey that people can then explore. Is like in the first stage, it's about making space. We've got so much clutter. We've got so many of our own thoughts and our own ideas and opinions as to how things should be done. That first we need to make space for this imagination to start working. So in stage one, I want to teach people how to actually identify when you've got all of this clutter, and then explore some techniques as to how do we make space for something new to come in. Then in the second part, it's really very crucial that we know when we're in the present moment. Is that we again end up pulling in everything from the past and what we expect from the future, and we want to stuff it all into the present moment when we're creating. But in
hmm.
actual fact, we don't have the past and the future in the present moment. We only have what we have here and now. So, as opposed to thinking, I've got 100 options, if we eliminate the past and we eliminate the future and say, what do I have right now? Where am I right now? It reduces the options and shows you, okay, what do you have to work with to now create what you want? So, the second part is really about what is here now. And even if it's not so nice, you don't have such nice experiences right now, how are we going to use those experiences to say, all this is about is clarifying what do I really want now?
Hmm.
So that's part two. And then in part three, it's about, simply put, getting out of the way. Once you are clear about what it is you want, you've put it all out there, like, stop interfering with it. Don't go back now and say, no, okay, but what if this happens and what if that happens? And, now you want to get all risk adverse. It's about know when you've reached the conclusion of creating what you want and step out of the way, let it happen for you. And it's just some activities around that, as well as to what can you do with yourself. When you're getting all antsy and like, you want to go back and look, you want to go back and interfere. So all three parts of the workshops is really about giving you activities as to what to do with yourself in these three stages. Right in the beginning, when you just have no room to even think. And then when you finally get to the middle of, okay, let's start clarifying okay, now that I have space, what do I really want? And then once you're done with that, being satisfied that you worked clear enough, that you've set your intentions. And now we have to trust and give it over to something else and step out of the way and just build that faith in yourself and whatever you've done, that things will happen the way it needs to happen and you'll be okay through it. So that's how I structured it. There's going to be a range of activities in each stage so people can have a feel for each of those activities. You'll find your own way as to what resonates more with you, or maybe you could come up with something completely new. That's why it's really about just being playful. Playful through it, being easy with yourself, being easy with each other, and then it will give you tools later on just in your daily activities how to notice things, differently. Because the immediate thing that you will feel once you do activities like this is that when you step outside, whether you're talking to people, whether you're reading something, whether you're looking at a tree, you will definitely notice the way your imaginative faculty has changed through applying the activities. So we're just opening you up. That's it. What
Uh,
you do with that after that is really up to you. And for me, it continues. You'll keep developing your own the moment you're simply going to recognize your imagination just by giving it that life. Saying, I know you're there. I know you're going to pick up all of these ideas, and I know that you know everything that you need to know. That's all. That's all. That's enough for recognition of the imagination, and then let it do what it wants to do. I know we said this workshop is about how to use your imagination to create, but while I was like contemplating it this morning, honestly, Shalu, after like so many years of doing this, I don't feel that it's me that's using my imagination anymore. I feel that it's my imagination that's using me. I'm not the one that,
yeah,
it's just,
wow.
it just goes the other way. Eventually it gets to that point that, it's just like painting, but painting visually and you're allowing things to come to you. So yeah.
Wow.
That was my find this morning
I
as
feel
well.
like now we need to change the title.
Well, it has to start there. I mean, we all start with, we want a better house, or we want a car, or we want a relationship, or we want business clients. That's where it starts. We all start on that law of attraction. And then like along the way, once you get all of those things, because you must have all of those things, you'll never stop there. There will always be something more that you want, but that's the whole point, is to keep it going. Is that the longer we stuck on, I want that car, and I don't have that car, and you don't move on to, okay, maybe I want a house, okay, maybe I want a garden, maybe I want to live at the seaside. You have to like keep moving through it, because you're never going to know until you're there, you have it, you're feeling it, and then you move on to the next. That's the point.
Yeah,
Keep on creating.
yeah, interesting. Yeah. Okay. So this takes us to the end of our session. Okay. Okay. So this takes us to the end of our session. And so do you have any final words to say to the participants who are going to sign up for this workshop?
I would like everybody that comes to be ready to have fun. It's not a serious workshop. So you must be ready to be colorful, to be creative, to not be shy to say what your wild idea is, and just being open. So it's not step by step.
Yes. Okay.
So that's basically it, Shalu, is that I would like them to be able to leave the workshop feeling that they have a new, easy technique that they can apply all by themselves anytime they want. It must become like part of, your daily activity that just happens.
Powerful. I'm personally very excited for this workshop. And yeah, so those of you who are watching this recorded video, so if you are interested to delve into this world of imagination, join us. We are so excited uh, to have you all in this journey with us. And if you wish to make room for new things in life, if you wish to flex your imagination muscle with intuitive exercises, some very powerful exercises that Lizania will be taking us through. And if you wish to clarify what you really want to achieve in this life. And if you wish to allow outcomes to unfold naturally, join us on this powerful workshop happening on Sundays, 27th August, 3rd and 10th September from 3:30 to 5:30. So thank you for watching this video and we'll see you in the workshop. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lizelle.
Thanks, Shalu.